News of terrible tragedy in Uttarkashi of Uttarakhand. A whole river of silt, mud, gravel, rocks just came down upon the Dharali village in Uttarkashi and slammed into the village, destroying houses, homes, hotels, homestays. And currently what we know, as you see on your screens, this entire column of water, river, silt completely submerged one side of the village. A village, as you can see on the screen, completely destroyed by a mudslide, a river of mud, gravel and silt. Now, what is the situation right there at the ground? Let's once try and connect with our reporter Ankit Sharma and find out what's happening there. Ankit, we know that teams have reached there. We have confirmation that an army team had reached within 10 minutes and then ITBP's 2 team are there. What do we know? How is the rescue operation proceeding ahead?
Well, after this catastrophic cloudburst took place in the Dharali village of Uttarkashi, the rescue operation is going to be very challenging because of the adverse weather conditions right now. And more than 20 buildings were swept away by the huge, massive cloud of muck and rubble, as you saw in the visuals as well. Army has reached over there, and the same IVX brigade, which also work during the Chamoli avalanche, are going to start the operation as soon as possible. And along with them, NDRF, SDRF, and ITBP personnel are going to join hands to launch the massive joint operation to save as many more lives as possible. So, as per the latest report, it's still raining over there, and there are muck lying everywhere in the Dharali village as well. Sorties cannot happen because of the adverse weather conditions, but the authorities are waiting for the favorable weather conditions, and as soon as the weather gets favorable, the authorities will swing into action and start the rescue operation. Back to you.
Ankit, very quickly, I'd like to know, is there any impact on the highway around it, or is it just the village that got impacted?
Well, the main highway which connects the Mukhba and Gangotri Dham has been impacted, but the national highway is a little far from here. However, a lot of people take the same route because Harshil is very near, and the Gangotri Dham is also near from this place. A lot of people, because of the revered abode of Ganga Ma, is also there. It's the winter abode of Ma Gangotri in Mukhba. So a lot of people throng to this village and offer praise as well.
Right.
But right now the situations are inclement, and the authorities are working to have a different approach because there's muck lying everywhere. There are a lot of heap of debris piling over there in the area.
Right, absolutely. Thank you, Ankit, for all those details. So currently the rescue operations are underway. And joining us now is MPS Bisht. He's the head of department of geology in Hemanti Nandan Bahuguna Central University in Garhwal. Thank you very much, Dr. Bisht, for speaking with India Today. Can you explain to us this phenomena, what you see on your screens? For laymen like us, could you explain what has happened?
Okay, actually, this happens in Bhagirathi and all the rivers. Those are originating from the Himalayan terrain, like Ganga, Yamuna, and all, like Nanda. We have experienced a lot of such incidences in the past also. You see, well, one I'll give you the example of the same place that is called Harsil, or we call it a Jhala to Jangla, 14-kilometer wide valley, open valley, which is the resultant of such incidents in the Avanaka Danda, just in front of the Sukhi blaze, in the downstream from this, what we call Dharali. And then you see, in that period, in the 1750 or 18, what happened? A huge mass of land that, due to the heavy precipitation, get down in the Bhagirathi, and then it blocked to the Bhagirathi Valley into Jhala. And then it makes a 14-kilometer long lake. impounding of this Bhagirathi, and in which almost 3 villages were submerged, which is now no more. So I think this Mukhba and this Dharali has experienced this thing in the past also. But what happened? What we learned from these incidences? Nothing. Because most of the villages now we are seeing along the roadside sections, if you see that most of these such townships are developed in the mouth of such streams. And this streams has got already a huge amount of glacial mass in the head. So whenever and wherever the such heavy precipitation takes place, the huge amount of the mass get down, and then entire the structures which is developed in the mouth of these valleys, which is all along the roadsides. If you see in the whether in the Alaknanda Valley or the Bhagirathi Valley, you'll find everywhere in the Himalayan terrain. Most of such places are now enclosed, which I am suggesting so many times to the people that please don't do this, because this is havoc for you people. It will create a havoc for you people. And unfortunately, this happens now.
But Dr. Bisht, as you said, that Dharali or this region had experienced this phenomena before and no lessons were learned. But then the government also needs to come up with a policy where they clearly state that these are the building instructions, you have to follow them. You cannot build in these regions, and it is very common in Uttarakhand for the land next to the river, which is usually sort of unmanned land, gets occupied by goons and then sold as Gram Panchayat land or something. It could be irrigation department land, but it gets sold. And that's when people who are usually novices, who have no clue about what they're buying, they come and build their homes there. So if we see... Yes,
you are 100% right. See, when I was director of space application, I surveyed on the Dehradun itself. There are 125 Malin Bastis developed all along the nalas. And all nalas are occupied by these pourers. Now, what happened in the monsoons? These all nalas, these all pourers become the sufferer of these heavy precipitations. But unfortunately, there is no systematic planning. We don't have a specific plan for such developmental work in the hilly terrain, neither for the building laws nor for the construction all along the roadside or the river sides. So we should have at least some standard plans for this.
Right.
You are right.
Right. Absolutely. Do stay on with us, Dr. Bisht. But let's listen to what the Chief Minister of the state has said about this incident, and also the MOS of the highways and transport. It is important to listen to him also, but because many times fingers are pointed towards the construction of roads in the hills for such incidents. Let's listen in.
धराली क्षेत्र में बादल फटने की अभी सूचना आई है और बहुत तेज गति से मलबा आया है पानी के साथ। हमारा प्रयास है कि इस समय में सभी को जल्दी से जल्दी राहत के काम किए जाएं, बचाव के कार्य किए जाएं। जिला प्रशासन के लोग वहां पहुंच रहे हैं, साथ में हमारे सेना के लोग, NDRF, SDRF, आपदा प्रबंधन विभाग लगातार कोशिश कर रहा है कि हमारी सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है कि सभी को इस समय राहत की जाए, सभी को बचाया जाए और हर प्रकार से जान माल की सुरक्षा की जाए।
देखिए, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, मैं तो रोड में लगातार मेरा जब से बनी है तब से अभी तक और अभी तक भी मैं काम देख ही रहा हूँ। तो मैं इतना कह सकता हूँ कि देखिए, जब हमारी रोड्स बनती हैं तो हम सारी मानक यानी कि जो भी रिपोर्ट्स जितने भी साइड से होती हैं, चाहे इंजीनियरिंग साइड से होती हैं, चाहे मानकों के अनुसार सर्वे, जितने भी हमको संरक्षण देने वाले डिपार्टमेंट हैं उनके राय पर ही लिया जाता है। उसके बाद रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनती हैं। मगर ये वाली घटना बादल फटने के कारण से स्पष्ट दिख रही है और वे बादल फटने के क्रम कभी भी हो सकता है। जैसा कि आपके ध्यान में मैंने बोला ही है कि आप जितने घटनाएं घटी हैं उन घटनाओं में बादल ही फटे हुए हैं और बादल फटने के कारण से अचानक से पानी का जो प्रभाव है वो बहुत बड़ा रहता है और उसके कारण से ये नहीं कह सकते कि वो इसके कारण से ये घटना घटी है। अलग अलग जगह पर अलग अलग घटनाएं होती है। रोड में हम लोग बार बार उसको ठीक भी करते हैं और उसके हम क्रम से स्लोप प्रोटेक्शन के कार्यक्रम भी कराते रहते हैं और उनको रोकने का काम, पहाड़ों को करने का काम करते हैं। इसलिए हमारी सड़कें जो टूटती हैं तो वो बंद करके फिर दोबारा से उसी स्ट्रक्चर में आती हैं, क्योंकि पहाड़ की जो भौगोलिक स्थिति है उसका आप भी हम भी सब लोग अध्ययन करते हैं तो यही देखते हैं कि रोडें बन रही हैं, रोडों के साथ साथ उसके स्लोप प्रोटेक्शन के काम भी होते हैं। फिर बारिश होती है और बरसात में अचानक से पानी ज्यादा आने के कारण से हर बात ये घटनाएं